Hello, everyone, and welcome to my 24 in 24 challenge. This is where we are going to talk about conversations that matter. This is a fundraising challenge for my branch, my Samaritans branch. I volunteer as a listening volunteer to this crisis helpline. It's a really important service because I think there are many people who, even right now, someone somewhere is carrying a lot on their minds, and when they don't have an opportunity to share how they're feeling and lighten the load, it can be it can feel very, very isolating. So I am very, very grateful to be here with all my guests. Andrea is guest number three. I've already had two sessions since midnight. Every hour on the hour I will have a conversation with someone about a topic that really, really matters. So I hope you'll donate and help us do the vital work that we do. Um, Andrea, so grateful to have you here. Shall we dive in?
Yes, thank you, Pei. Firstly, let me start by saying I'm honored to be here. I think this is a fantastic initiative, and it's fantastic what you're doing for the community. So, hats off to you. I don't know how you do it, but yes, to everyone who's going to be here and the guests on the show, thank you for your time. And, like Pei has said, if you can support her initiative, that would be great.
Thank you so much. When I posted this, and I did a talk at Women in Tech in London, and you came up to me on the
Yes,
topic we were talking about how to listen to ourselves. I'm running that session a little bit later today. I think 11 o'clock with
yes, I saw
Tracy.
that.
With Tracy, and you were in the audience and you were listening, and that was when I was plugging for this particular challenge, and you came up to me and you said, "Hey, I'd like to help you. I'd like to volunteer. I'd like to step up and share my story.
Yes.
Can you go ahead and share your story, please?"
Yeah. So my story is really personal, and it's been years that I've shared it with someone, especially a larger audience. But I think this is really important to know because I know that a lot of women go through this, and this is about miscarriage and perinatal loss. And this can happen at any point in time, right from the time of conception through having your 9 months of pregnancy to after delivering the baby. And my story, what happened was when we were expecting our first baby soon after marriage at 24 weeks. So it was already in the 6th month. Just like that, one day I was suddenly really, really unwell. It happened on a Monday, and within 4 days, we lost our baby. So it was extremely traumatic for us. It was really hard to deal with the pain, the trauma, the shock to get over it. It took us a really long time as a family, not just me and my husband, but our parents, in laws. It took us a really long time to get over it. But I think, especially me as a mother and my husband as the dad, we really grieved for a year and more. And this is something that not many people talk about. It's simply because there is a certain kind of maybe stigma. It could be cultural beliefs. It could also be maybe the shame, the guilt that comes with it. Maybe you ask yourself a lot of questions. What is it that I didn't do? What is it that I could have done? And the other thing is that even when you meet someone, people don't know how to acknowledge it or how or what to say. They are stumped for words. Some people might say too much. Some people might say too little. Some people may ask unnecessary questions that you're not comfortable talking about. And this is a hidden loss because what I realized is that I thought it was just me that I'd gone through this and I was carrying this heavy burden. But I was amazed at the number of women who came and talked to me about this loss that they had suffered and they had gone through. It was like every third person was coming up to me and talking to me about this. And I was like, how is it that we as women don't talk about it enough? Sorry, why is it that we don't share this? Why is it that we don't support each other? And why is it that we are hiding this? For me, it was advanced pregnancy, so it was 24 weeks. So a lot of people knew about it in my community, in my area, in my friend circle. But the women who came up to me and talked to me, it ranged, their pregnancy losses range from 5 weeks, and I could tell by how much it still hurt years later. It could be 5 weeks, it could be like me later on 24 weeks. And I have known women who have lost their baby right at the time of delivery, who've carried a baby to full term and sadly lost the baby, including one in our own family, carried it right up to full term. And it's what I realized that's really sad is that eventually people move on. If it was a living person who has died, there are the memories people remember. But when it is a perinatal grief, it's usually you and your spouse, your partner, your husband who remembers. People very quickly forget, and you wonder, how can this world go on? How can everyone stop? How can people forget? And I think that is what we lived through. So the although the grief took a really long time to get over it, I would say that the pain still remains. In some way, it becomes a part of you, and you just learn to grow around it. So that's what we wanted to. That's what we went through, and which is why I opted for this topic, because it is really close to my heart. And a lot of people carry this pain, and I just wanted to say that it is okay to feel that pain. It is okay to grieve that loss. It is completely normal. Whatever you feel, you might feel it physically because you've just given birth or you've just lost your baby and your body has to go through it. You will feel it emotionally, definitely, because you will already have some kind of attachment, and you also feel it mentally. It's very hard to cope, and it's completely normal to feel this. And you need to take your time. It's been years for me, but when that day arrives, uh, I can't talk to anybody about it. I find it so hard till today. On that particular day, I cannot talk about it. So we as a family, we do special things like we make a visit to church, and we pray together as a family. Anything, whatever that makes you comfortable, that helps you connect, that is the time you need to do, because that healing will carry on. That healing won't stop there. It could take a lifetime, but the important thing is to acknowledge those feelings and what you're going through. uh, yes, you will hear of other women, and I think if you've gone through that experience, you will really understand because you've gone through it. So I would say reach out to others who have gone through that and support them, because they need you. Because that's what I felt as well. The women who showed me immense kindness by simply coming up to me and telling me about the pain, and they said, we've gone through it, we know how you feel. That itself makes a world of a difference. So this is what I want to share from my side.
So thank you for that, Andrea. So you said that the women who have gone through what you've gone through,
Yeah.
when it come up to you, they're able to say the right things and provide you comfort because they know how it feels.
Yes.
What's your advice to those who haven't gone through it, and you've said before, who don't know what to say or say too much or say the wrong thing? How how what can they say and what can they do you think would have been most helpful to you when you're going through this?
Yes. So when people who came up to me spoke to me, the first thing is there are wrong questions that you can ask. For example, do not ask details. uh, do not be invasive with your questions, simply because you are asking the parents to relive those moments, and it's very hard to share. Respect their privacy. Give them that permission to not say too much. Maybe they don't want to talk about it. Respect that. So if you don't know what to say that you don't know what to say, and simply just acknowledge and say, I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm here for you. If you want to talk about it, I'm ready to listen. So listening is the most important, I would say. Don't be frightened to say that you don't know. It's completely all right, because our society doesn't speak about it too much. I think people don't know how to acknowledge it, and also because it is a hidden loss. Sometimes uh, people don't know because we don't have that kind of support. There might not be a funeral. uh, Unlike, when a living person dies, there's always something happening. There is some kind of support. There are funerals, people come together. But in a miscarriage, uh, like this friend of mine who came up to me, I was so shocked to know that she had lost a baby at 5 weeks. I had no idea about it. People don't talk about it. There's some kind of a hidden loss there, and for whatever reason, so we don't really know what people are going through. So do not be invasive. Respect that privacy and let them know that you are there. The other thing that you can do is spend time with them. I had a friend who simply came over, didn't ask me anything. My best friend, she just came over. She just sat with me. She just held my hand and she cried with me. She just let me talk. She did not ask me a single thing. She just sat for more than an hour. She just held my hand and she just cried. And I think that just showed immense kindness. Uh, so you could do something like that. The other thing is you can accompany them in something. Maybe they like gardening. Sit with them and ask them. Maybe just drop by for a cup of coffee. Just spend time with them and listen. Allow them to speak. Allow them that time to heal. Allow them to talk. One is because they need to be out of that environment, and that is what I felt. I found it really challenging because when I was at home, the thoughts are like a heavy burden, and you continuously go through it in your mind. It's like you're reliving it every single moment, and you think, what if I had to do this? What if I had to do that? There's the shock, there's the anger, there's the denial. It's all the stages of grief that you go through. So I would say just be there, sit with them, hold their hands. You don't have to say anything, because just be mindful that sometimes you might ask the wrong question that triggers more hurt, that triggers the trauma again. Just sit there and be there for them. Just listen to them, and that itself shows immense kindness and healing.
Thank you for that. Um, so my you were saying hidden loss, and I think that's so true in many ways.
Yeah.
I have a cousin I'm very close to, but she lives in Malaysia, and I've been in England for 26 years. We call, I would say, a bit more regular now. She's got three boys of her own. And during one day, a conversation, I can't remember about what, but she admitted that she had lost three babies. And I was utterly gobsmacked. She is, and she, the way it happens, it just happens. That's why they say, don't announce your pregnancy until after week 12. Yeah.
Yes.
And so she just took it as that's just one of the things that happens, just like losing a teeth. It's just, it happens. Do you think that the fact that it happens minimizes it for a lot of women, and therefore they don't talk about it as much as they would, otherwise? do you feel that that might be a reason why women are less, as you say, you
Yeah,
surprised with your friend and I'm surprised with my cousin. Do you think that could be a reason why, or is there more to it, you think?
I think people, women, really try to normalize this, but I think it's important to acknowledge what happened. They try to hide it for various reasons. And what I also think, one of the things that I had read about is the attachment. People in their very early pregnancies might not have an attachment, a very close attachment to the baby, because it might just be 4 weeks, 5 weeks. But there will always be some kind of grief or loss. I mean, your body is creating a new being. Uh, it's not really like pulling out a tooth, as your cousin said. It is a lot. It does take time. And everyone grieves differently. Maybe it could range from a few hours to days to weeks to years. I know families who are grieving their loss since years because they lost a fully formed baby at 40 weeks. So I think it's just our culture is such that we don't have enough support. It's not talked about openly. There are now bereavement groups that support perinatal loss, but amazingly, in this day and age, in 2025, researchers are still trying to understand how clinicians can support perinatal grief. It's amazing that we don't have enough support, but I am aware that now there are bereavement groups. Uh, if you can reach out to one, if you need that support, you need to talk to somebody. Do talk to someone, because it's not just about losing that pregnancy. It's about the second bit which comes along, which I found really difficult, is preparing for your next pregnancy. Because when you are preparing for your next pregnancy, automatically you feel the anxiety, the fear, the pain, the loss. And I was carrying that anxiety and stress throughout the 9 months of my second pregnancy. I was always afraid because I didn't know, is my body going to cope up this time? Is my body going to give up? What do I do? What should happen? Should I not do this? And should I be? I was being extra careful. I was so scared the whole pregnancy. Uh, Thankfully, I had a really, really supportive doctor who gave me the stats, and she's like, "Look, this is the chance of it happening again." Just to let you know, I had preeclampsia. Preeclampsia is something that not many women pay attention to, and I was always healthy all my life. I thought something like that could never happen to me. When I read about it when I was preparing for my pregnancy, because I've always been very healthy, I just like that, on one day I had extremely high blood pressure. uh, my blood pressure shot through the roof, and the doctor was like, "This is the end. We can just save you or the baby, but we cannot save both your lives, so we are going to focus on just saving your life." And that made it really difficult because I carried that fear through my second and through my third pregnancy. I have two children now, and that fear is always there. And my friends have talked about it too, because when you lose the first baby in the first 3 months, you are scared. You don't know how you're going to react, what you're going to go through. That fear is always there. You need to have that very supportive family. And I think for people, unfortunately, who go through repeated miscarriages, might sometimes just be ready. They might think that, okay, we're not going to have any hope this time. They are too scared to hope. That's what happened with them. That's what I think, because I have another friend who tried. Unfortunately, till date, she does not have a child. She tried many years. She lost many pregnancies, and uh, she is now 40 plus, no kids, tried very, very hard. And I think over time they just get used to it. But that pain will always remain. That mother always carries. the pain of losing, because every single one was her baby whom she lost. And with when you know you are pregnant, uh, there is always that excitement, there's always that joy. You start dreaming about the future, and that's a sadness that we had. I know my husband went through that sadness of the loss of the dreams for that baby and for your family. You know, he went through that. The sadness was overwhelming because he could see the future that we would have had together with this child, which we didn't have. And it's important to acknowledge those feelings. It's important to talk to your partner. It's okay. There is no shame in talking about it. If you do not want to talk to the wider circle, just firstly, you can start off by talking to your spouse, talking to your partner. It is important to acknowledge it, because I think that's where we fail ourselves. You need to heal from that. And especially as a mom, your body is going through something miraculous. You are creating a new human being, and maybe you don't feel ready to talk about it. But I think it's important to just go through and say, yes, this has happened to me, and it's okay to be sad about it. It's okay to take some time. And many companies do offer compassionate leave for perinatal loss and perinatal grief. I was lucky that I had a break from work. If you need to have that break, I would encourage women to go talk about it to your manager, to your HR person. If you don't have an HR policy in place, maybe it is a good time to approach the HR department and let them know about this. Because I think as women, we need to stand up for each other, and we really need to support each other in this.
Thank you for that, Andrea.
Yeah.
I'd like you to talk about something else you mentioned to me because we spoke during that evening, and it's about listening to yourself. And
Yes.
you were saying how you didn't feel listened to by the doctors, and you
Yes.
can you just tell everyone about that story,
Yes.
that side?
So when I was, I think, third month onwards, my body started giving me signs. I had slight swelling in my hands and in my feet, and it carried on into the fourth month, fifth month. And I kept thinking that this is not normal. It's not normal to have swelling in your extremities this early in the pregnancy, because I know that swelling increases towards the end in the third trimester. And I had, I found this strange. I knew that something was different, although it was my first pregnancy. I did talk about it to the doctor, who just shut me down by saying, "You are pregnant. What are you expecting? Things like that are going to happen." And I feel that if I were more strong in pushing it, if I had to listen to myself, which I didn't, and if I had to really push the doctor, and there are things that you can do. If you feel that you are not listened to, go to another doctor. The reason why I stuck with this doctor, because I thought he was really good, and I had heard from many people that he was really good. My own friends had gone to him, so I trusted him blindly. But as a mother, your instincts will kick in. If you think something is wrong, even if he's the best number one gold medalist doctor in the world, go to someone else. Take a second opinion. And in fact, when this happened, it happened on when I was admitted in the hospital. It was 28th December. It was right before Christmas. The previous evening, I met an aunt of mine who looked at me, and she said to me, "Something's wrong." She said, "I will take you tomorrow to another doctor." She said, "Something's wrong." And I knew it. And I wish that I had listened to my own instincts, because I felt normal. Everything about me felt normal. It's just this extremity swelling that I had. And that gave me a sign that something was off. And I had talked to the doctor, and I trusted him when he said that, you're pregnant, and, this is normal. And I wish I had to listen because, and even then, let me tell you that even on 20th December, it got worse because I was rushing to work that morning by train. And even when I was rushing to work, and that triggered it. That's another thing that I didn't do because people tell you to take it slow, take it easy. But I went on living my life because, okay, pregnancy, women are always pregnant around you. And I thought, okay, I have to live my life. I have to rush to work. I'm getting late to work. I have to take the train. And I was rushing late to work that morning. So I was running for the train, and that triggered it because I pushed myself to run for that train. I didn't want to miss. That was my regular train. And as soon as I got in, I had severe chest pain, back pain, and upper abdomen pain. And even there, while I was in the train with severe pain, I didn't tell anyone. There were women all around me, but I did not say a word to anybody. I just suffered. I thought that, this is normal. I'm pregnant. And as the train started moving to the second, to the third station, to the fourth, then I knew this is serious because I thought, am I getting a heart attack? The pain was so severe, it started becoming unbearable. I got off the train and still was thinking about others. I didn't think about myself. I thought, uh, I'm just going to call my boss and leave him a voicemail and tell him I cannot work today. So I sat at the train station, and the first thing I did was I called my boss. Again, I wasn't thinking about myself. I was thinking about my work, the office, what would they think? And, I needed to report into work. I'm going to be late for work today. I can't be late because I have strong work ethics. And when I placed that call, I thought, let me just take the return train home. And I took the train back. And I came home and I rested, all the while suffering silently with that pain. And eventually I got an appointment with the doctor in the evening. At no point in time did I think that this is an emergency, I need to rush it, I need to be in the hospital right now. I just thought that this was normal. So I think it's really important to listen to yourself. And if you think that you need help, ask for help. Ask, don't stop. Don't think about others around you. It's okay in that moment to be selfish. It's okay. People, if it's serious, you need to listen to yourself, listen to your heart. Your body will tell you, your heart will tell you. Stop thinking about everyone else. And sometimes when I look back, I think that that was the most foolish thing I did. I was there in severe pain in that situation, but I thought of everybody else. I thought of work. I thought about being late to work. I thought about, and when I called my doctor, I was told that he was in surgery. I thought, okay, it's polite to wait. Let me just wait for him to finish his surgery rather than pushing it and telling him it was an emergency or rushing to the hospital. I I just sat and I waited, and by evening it was too late. It was too late because then it was really hard for them to bring my pressure down. By then it had already reached a stage where it was too severe. uh, and then I struggled with the what ifs, and that pain will always be there. uh, I don't think in my case it could have been averted because from what I read, from what I was told from different consultants that I did speak to later, is that one is diabetes, so that's sugar and pressure can affect a lot of women in pregnancy that you need to be careful about. It could either be low blood pressure or it could be high blood pressure. It does not happen overnight. It slowly starts building a few days prior, and most likely mine would have been building 2 weeks before. But what I was told that luckily I because I rushed for the train and I had that severe pain, and my body gave me that warning sign that I knew about it. But I could have had a very normal pregnancy, uh, having had that very high blood pressure, which could have caused seizures, which people are not aware about. So it's very important during pregnancy to do things like uh, checking your sugar levels, checking your blood pressure levels, because the buildup happens slowly over time. And if you are seeing your uh, your consultant every month or every few weeks, it's very difficult to pick up these things. So I think at the end of it is I look at it is I'm still alive. I have two beautiful children. I've had two normal pregnancies then on. So I would say that have that faith. Don't be afraid. Things are not going to be easy. The pain will still be there. Do things that you have to do. Celebrate that day. Have a special memory. Maybe have a memory box. I still have uh, the baby shawl that we wrapped my baby in, and I used it for my children as well when they were born, because I wanted them to remember and I wanted this to be part of our family, and I want to remember. So every day on that day, which is 23rd of December, this happened 2 days before Christmas, so it made it all the more hard. We still celebrate. We bake a birthday cake. We sing happy birthday. My children and I, we talk about it. It's okay to acknowledge and to share your feelings. And I just want to say that whatever you go through, please don't keep it to yourself. Talk to someone. You need to heal. It is really important to heal. It's normal to take you time to process that grief. It's really normal to have a long, maybe months, years. I grieved for more than a year. It took me really long. It was hard for me to attend baby showers, baby christenings, naming ceremonies. I found it really difficult. So I would say the first step is acknowledging that and ask for help, ask for support. And for those who don't know about it, if you know about this friend, I would say reach out. It's really important. If you don't have the words to say, that's fine. Just reach out and hold their hand and just be there for them.
Thank you, Andrea, for sharing your story. You can see there Raksha showing her
Yeah, thank you,
support,
Raksha.
and also Christy, who was with us earlier on. So, thank you so much for sharing your story once again. If I were to kind of like summarize, talk to people, right? You said that this is a hidden loss. Let's not make it hidden, because when we hide, we feel very alone until someone comes and says, I know how you feel because I've gone through the same thing.
Thank you.
And also, secondly, which was really important, it is listen to your body, listen to your inner voice. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Exactly.
Everything was fine, and false alarm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking false alarm is better than
Yes.
the other
Agreed.
way.
Yeah.
So and also there was a thread that I kind of like didn't tug, which was the fact that you were in pain, and yet you thought of everyone
Yeah.
except yourself, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is also something that us kind of women have to think about. We have to put ourselves first.
Yeah.
uh, Christy was on the first session. She talked about having grace and looking after yourself
Yeah.
so that you can look after others, be it your new baby or your family.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for spending the time talking to us, and also your message about talking to people. It's really really important, and not how you say, not one second, not keeping it inside,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
right? So thank you for that. I
Yeah.
just wanted to say again, call to action
Yeah.
for everyone is to, if you're able to, please donate to Samaritans. Please listen to the people around you. Please listen to yourself. And once again, Andrea, thank you so much for
Thank
sharing.
you, Bing. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm really glad to have been part of this and for this opportunity, because I think this is probably the first platform that I am sharing my story. And I think, as I said, we women don't listen to ourselves and we don't spend enough time for ourselves. So thank you for this opportunity, and I'm really grateful for this time. So to everyone out there, um, let's look around us, look at who needs that support. Let's listen more, and let's learn to love and support each other more.
Amazing. Thank you so much for those parting words. Thank you, everyone. I hope you tune in for the next one with Raksha
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock in 25 minutes.
Everybody, bye bye.
Thank
Bye. Take care.
you.
Bye.
Bye.